I'm Lucy Edwards, Director of Client Success at VHT Studios and now Metaport. And I am here with my guest, Jonathan Lickstein. And Jonathan, you are the Chief Operating Officer at LoKation Real Estate. And we are in Pompano Beach, Florida right now.
Welcome to South Florida.
Yeah, I love South Florida. I am now a Floridian myself, so I'm very proud of it and very excited to wake up every morning and not wear a jacket. So here we go. You have great reputation. Your company is amazing. Your agents, I met them during business meetings as well as like mingles and networking. Very proud to be part of your brand. And I would like to start with history of your company.
Okay. LoKation comes from a long story, and we weren't always LoKation Real Estate. We actually started off as the K company of Realtors, and NAR made us change that because Realtors, utilizing that in your trademark name, is a violation of the trademark usage. So it was through force that we evolved from K company of Realtors into the K company Realty. And as our company grew and went from being 17 realtors working off of large commission splits and transitioning into more of a technology-focused brokerage that is really about the consumer experience, both for the agent and the buyer and seller, it didn't really imbue who we were anymore. So we went through a branding change just a few years ago and switched from the K Company Realty into LoKation Real Estate. And this entire company was founded on the principles of making this as completely agent-centric as possible for the agent. Therefore, the agent could pass that experience on to the consumer, the buyer, and the seller. So anything we do in our evolution is focused on making things more beneficial to the realtor, who can then create that experience for the buyer and the seller, utilizing technology that we provide.
Let's dive deep into the history. It wasn't all smooth. You went through ups and downs in order to get where you are now, to that successful company that is in multiple states. Can we talk about that?
Absolutely. So as you know, growing a business is never smooth. And if anyone will tell you that, I'll show you somebody who's not telling you the truth. So our company started where our CEO was going out of new construction at the downfall of the economy. And he turned around and did the smartest thing that any business person would do in a down economy: start a new company. So he started a real estate company and began bringing on one agent and another agent, just hitting the pavement and working side by side with them, kind of mentor and mentee style, to get them profitable and making money. And what we found is all of our efforts being put in and getting these agents to be profitable and turning a profit for their own business, let alone ours, became a very much an adrenaline rush, where instead of us experiencing that with consumers and buyers going into their first home, we were experiencing that from the other side, helping agents get their first sale and become profitable and getting to that point of becoming what would be a quote unquote producer. And the evolution of the company and hitting those was kind of a gut punch every time an agent would become profitable with us and then turn around and leave to another company with a higher commission split. And we said, there's got to be more than this. What does an agent really need from us? Why do they come in? Why do they come to us? And what we realized is they came to us for us. And that experience of working with someone who had a passion for making you successful, for giving you the opportunity to become profitable within your own business. Because when a realtor gets a real estate license, they're starting a business. So we took pride in being part of that journey, only to see somebody leave to a higher split. We said that's never going to happen again. We changed our business model, kept that mentality of feeling the ownership of the experience and the journey with the agent, but gave them the most profitable commission split out there, 100% commission. So utilizing the combination of the two, our passion for helping them learn, helping them grow, and putting all the money in their pockets was really a beautiful formula.
It's a win-win-win situation.
You bet.
And the realtor is a CEO of their own business, you can say, of their own practice. So you are looking out for their success and profitability, obviously.
Absolutely.
And I think the platform that you have arranged for them and you are making it available, so it's so easy to work with your company, with LoKation Real Estate, regardless where you are as a realtor. I think that is a great plus. Can we talk about that?
Absolutely. So as I told you you in the beginning, it was one-on-one. Everyone was working hand in hand with us directly. And as you try and scale and you expand your business, something has to change. But we didn't want to change that engagement we had with the agent themselves. So we resorted to technology. If you can't fix it with human capital, it's time to bring in technology and be smart, right? So we established an online portal, which I'll call kind of the real estate Facebook, where an agent would log in and they can chat and video message with us in real time and see who else is logged in. So instead of going to an office to interact with other agents, you could log in from anywhere in the world, interact with us like you're sitting next to us, like you and I are today. They could also interact with other agents. So taking the office to an online interactive experience that you can use from your phone, your tablet, your computer, gave that connectivity and engagement to the office without having to physically be there. And that itself has lended quite a bit to our expansion, our ability to operate now in 6 states and not feel like our agents are disconnected from us. We can still be just as helpful as we were from day one today with 3,400 agents.
Well, you didn't stop there. You made additional partnerships available for your agents. For example, I understand you have, like you call it, under one roof, the mortgage, the title, companies like our company that offers professional photography and such, and many more. Is it all available, all those services and under one roof is available in every state?
Great question. So whenever you're working on a consumer's experience, a realtor can only control so much, and so much is then dependent on third-party companies being involved. Home inspectors, lenders, title companies, attorneys, you name it, there's an involvement in the real estate transaction. And if something goes wrong, where does it fall back to? It falls back to the realtor. So we said we were going to control that consumer experience every step of the way and have everything that you need in one location. See what I did there? Everything in one location.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
So we've taken those same value principles we have at LoKation Real Estate and applied those to our other companies. The closing team for title and escrow, the mortgage center for lending needs, title also handles escrow, and insurance as well. So you can have every step taken care of along the way through the eyes of the value and experience of LoKation and control the pathway for that consumer, giving them the value for the service level of what you would expect in return and not leave anything to happenstance or dependent on third parties.
That's amazing. It is indeed, because realtors should do what they do best, which is sell, which is make sure that their buyers are happy, their sellers are satisfied, and you take care of the rest.
Right.
And how do you see the future agent? How do you help? And they don't really need help. They're all professionals. They're strong individuals. But what kind of assistance, guidance, coaching you are offering to your agents in our rather difficult times? And we don't even know what's going to take place in 2023 as far as the interest rates, the inventory, and so on.
Right. The 3 I's are always things that we can't control. Interest rates, inflation, and inventory. That's stuff outside of our ability to control, but what we can do is control the variables that we are within, right? So talking to agents who are preparing for a down market, you have to look at what's coming in front of you. In 2021, there were so many agents that were just so happy with the circumstances that we were given. Everyone could sell. You could walk out of your front door and have 3 properties under contract by the time you hit the car. And that's not the case anymore. And when you're in those times, you have to think about what is coming. So during that hot time, we didn't just ride the wave. We looked at, okay, when the market shifts like we've seen before, what are agents going to need? They're going to need stable, recurring revenue for their business that may not be required for transactional income. What I mean is giving agents a way to earn income without transacting, which is a concept that you don't really see a lot of from larger companies. So we established a property management division. So our agents could continue to interface with their consumers and have recurring revenue come in to help agents and help consumers come together, bridge that gap, have that recurring revenue on the agent side, have that trust and relationship built on the landlord and customer side, and continue to push forward through this economy that we're in. There's never a shortage of people looking to rent, but purchases have slowed down quite a bit. So as we look towards that market, yes, the property management helps. Yes, continuing to focus on the rental market helps. but continuing to educate agents on ways that marketing will change, ways that the consumer will need to be supported by their realtor has changed drastically, and it continues to do so. If you look at the culture and the community around us, we're in an on-demand society. The agent is no longer the holder of the data of what's selling in what neighborhood for how much. This house is how big, that house has this issue. We're no longer the keepers of data. We have become the consultants, the counselors that help people get through the process of the mystery of home ownership and really satisfying that American dream. So going back to the educational board and getting agents set to be that guide, correct their marketing, tweak their marketing, rebrand themselves as more of a trusted counselor as opposed to simply a salesperson who opens the door has been a very big part of our initiative in this shift of market. But it's not all bad. The market will come back.
No, and you are being so creative and so adventurous in a way. You are trying to find different avenues to make sure that if there are not enough sales, you do have rentals. And Florida, for example, I'm not sure how Georgia market is working right now, but in Florida, everything is for rent. And much more than new condos are coming up, with rental properties are coming up more as far as new construction and new developments.
True. In the other areas, we're getting more creative on financing tactics and programs that work for consumers that maybe aren't so confident to buy today. There's a lot of lease-to-own programs that have come out, which allows you to put the consumer in the home that they want to ultimately buy, but don't want to get locked into maybe a higher interest rate, or they might not be able to qualify for exactly what they want now with the payment status. But getting them into the home to start getting down that pathway and feel that ownership of being in the home that you're going to buy. And then in 6 to 18 months down the road, they can go forward and close on that same home they've already been living in and already have those roots planted in the community.
Well, when I was your age, we called it rent with option to buy.
and they still do that now, right?
Okay.
But there's companies that go out there and the seller wants to sell. They don't want to rent the home out, right? So rent with the option to buy, the seller would have to agree to rent you the home. With these programs, the seller is selling the home. It's now a third-party company who owns it in between. And they are the ones renting to the consumer until the consumer can buy it from that company. So it's similar structure, but different parties. The seller gets what they want, the buyer gets what they want, and that company in the middle obviously is turning a small profit. But at the same time, they're transacting when many can't.
Very creative. It's great. It's great to keep agents afloat while all this transition is going on and all the changes are happening, but they're still earning money, and you are helping them all the way by creating different programs and finding different avenues.
It's a win-win-win.
Win-win-win. What about marketing strategy? So marketing is very important. And I appreciate the fact that you have partnerships with photography companies where you make sure that your agents have professional marketing strategy for every property. Do you insist? Do you, again, coach your agents? Do you offer different programs? What's your view on marketing? I've been in marketing all my life, so for me, it's very important.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. As we've evolved and getting into COVID, many real estate companies and realtors discovered the need and the importance of online presentation when listing a property or listing yourself and branding yourself. It is of the utmost importance. So something that has become more and more prevalent now is the high quality photography, the drone photography, the 3D Matterport tours. You have to make the customer feel like they are sitting within the home from their home now and really immerse them in. If you think during COVID and the pandemic that we went through, people weren't showing homes in many parts of this country. In Florida, we were very beneficial. We were deemed essential and able to go out and show homes after just a few weeks, thank you to our PAC dollars and our elected officials. But many parts of the country didn't have that for a very long time. And agents were kind of relished to stay at their home and try and sell another home from not in that home while someone else couldn't walk in the home. So Matterports, 3Ds, drones, even the VR headsets became big selling tools that were absolute necessities and requirements. But oops, we spoiled the consumer. Now they expect this. this has become the baseline where you must have high quality imagery, high resolution photography. You must be able to present not only a property, but yourself and your business and your value proposition to someone on the other side of the world through the click of a button. So it's companies like Matterport. It's photographers that you trust that come out and present you in the proper light that have become probably the most important piece of an agent's individual business.
Well said. Well, thank you. I would like to talk about the community. We will be nowhere without our community. And I understand that you support your community on local level because you are in different states. And it's very important for you, and it's important for your agents. So would love to hear more about that.
Okay. We believe that realtors are pillars of their community. Okay. When you are quote unquote farming an area, you're not just selling and familiar with the properties and the values and this coffee shop or that restaurant. You're familiar with the people. And that includes from all types of classes, high, middle, lower, whatever it might be. Everyone has someone that can use a hand. So there's an entire arm of our company called LoKation Cares. And LoKation Cares in all of our different states gets involved with local organizations that actually go directly to the people. We don't work with national companies because it's really hard to feel the impact when you're doing that. We prefer to work with local organizations that allow us to not only contribute financially, but also with human capital, where we get our realtors together and we go volunteer. Unfortunately, Hurricane Ian did a number on the west coast of Florida. And so we said 48 hours later, let's not wait for the Red Cross to get out there and do what they can. Let's do what we can. So we were able to raise over $4,000 in just a few days, accumulated donations, and caravan 15 people to Fort Myers from our office staff and realtors to drive over there and get our hands dirty, roll our sleeves up and help people clean out their homes. It was very, very sad and devastating to see. But at the same time, at the end of the day, we're exhausted, we're sweating, we're dirty, there's cuts on hands and legs and, whatever it might be, but it's nothing compared to what those people have had to endure. And the feeling is incredible. So anything that you can do to help your local community, not just simply writing a check and sending it off, but it's the human capital that is much more valuable. Giving that person the shoulder to cry on when they've lost everything was very impactful. I'm feeling it right now.
I'm feeling it right now. I'm ready to go to Tampa.
It's things like that, and the ability to give back with a large community, a large footprint, and make an impact locally. It's not about the branding. It's not about advertising. It's not about the PR. It's knowing that walking away, we made an impact on that person's life when they didn't have somewhere else to go or somebody else to call.
And that is so beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. That was quite a story, I will tell you.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And it's greatly appreciated. And I am sure that the community really appreciates. And I know it's not about the PR and the branding. It's people and people. And we're supporting each other. And that's what's so beautiful about that.
We're human beings.
Yeah. And let's stay human. Let's stay human. Let's not allow the extra technology. Let's rehumanize the relationship and give a hug, like you said, and just give you a shoulder to cry on if someone needs it.
If you think about it, there's been so much disruption in the real estate industry lately of companies and computer systems and technologies and algorithms trying to replace the human aspect of real estate. And our conversation here today is a perfect example. You can't eliminate the human aspect. We have to rehumanize. I love how you said that. We have to rehumanize the real estate transaction. It's not about the financial part of it. It's not about the capital, the revenue, the earnings. It's the human to human interaction that makes this dream come true for every person out there.
Thank you, Jonathan. And thank you so much. Thank you for your time. I really enjoy your office, your people. It's fabulous. And again, such a great pleasure to meet you in person.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.